Elis James and John Robbins.
Radio
X.
That was The Day We Caught the Train by Ocean Colour Scene. You're listening to Elis James and John Robbins here on Radio X. Welcome to our Saturday afternoon show. And it's a Saturday afternoon show with a slight difference because I'm here. Regular listeners will know that John usually takes the opening links, but we don't know where he is. Well, actually, that's not strictly true, is it, Vin? We do know where he is.
He's en route.
He is en route. Yes, it's Scatty Robbins, the Reprise. We've back via popular demand. It was such a success when John was late last time. We've decided to do it again. This is actually a pre-recorded show because tonight John is recording his award-winning Edinburgh show, and I'm contractually obliged to describe it as an award-winning Edinburgh show for the BBC. So obviously he's currently going through his pre-gig preparations.
Well, that's the plan. He was supposed to be.
That was the plan. So we recorded this show on Friday between 3 and 5. It's been in my diary for a few months now. It's been in Vin's diary. It's been in producer Joe's diary.
We had a meeting about it.
We had a blimmin' meeting about it. We had PowerPoint, we had pens, we had coffee, we had biscuits. John specifically asked for it to be later because he was going to go to the pub with his friends Tim Key and Alex Horn.
He said he was going out on the lash and that it would be a big night.
I think it was a pub quiz.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he was doing a pub quiz with Tim Key and Alex Horn. So we asked for it to be late. That's fine because it just means that Joe gets to work late because he's got to build the show and build the podcast and what have you. And because John is such a luxury player, he's Glenn Hoddle. He's Tom Finney, Stanley Matthews, he's John Barnes, he's
James Rodriguez.
Absolutely, you've got to look after your luxury players. We said, yeah, absolutely, that's fine. And he's seemingly either not put it in his diary or slept in. He's on the way, apparently.
I couldn't actually. So producer Joe spoke to him earlier today. I couldn't actually bring myself to do it. This is the angriest I've ever been, El.
Yeah, you do an interesting thing when you go angry because you go very quiet and how can I put this? You look purposeful.
Yeah, it's called internalising.
Yeah. Oh, you're going to end up with a stomach ulcer.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what? This is one of the interesting things I was going to talk to John about. I did my first stand-up gig in English for about 18 months on Sunday night, and I was so nervous about it that I had eczema for about 6 days leading up to the show. So I had to go to...
Whereabouts?
All of my body.
Wow.
Literally legs, chest, arms, back. Apart from face and feet,
okay, yeah.
the full works, right? Because I was nervous about this gig. I was on with James Acaster and Ivor Graham and Desiree Birch, and the gig went well. I wasn't at tip-top, form. I've done better, but it was fine, right?
Yeah, okay.
Got home from the gig in Canterbury, couldn't be bothered to apply my aqueous cream. Went straight to bed, woke up the morning after. It was like I had been visited by the angels. It had completely disappeared.
Oh, you'd melted?
No, it looked like something religious had happened to my skin.
Wow.
100 years ago, I would have assumed that I had had E45
you
applied to
had
me.
a divine comedic experience.
Yeah, that I'd had E45 applied to me by Christ. But no, so I wasn't stressed. I was going to talk about getting back in the saddle, all that sort of things. These are all things I can discuss.
We're going to miss out on all this gold, all this radio gold.
He
now.
can't be bothered to turn up, can he?
It's too rock and roll. We've said that for years, El.
I think it's probably the case of him winning the Edinburgh Comedy Award in 2017.
I don't need to go to that radio show anymore.
Yeah, whatever. It's just a radio show that's given me absolutely everything that's good in my life.
He's just my best friend.
He's just my best friend, apart from, open brackets, the lovely Robin, close bracket. It's just the thing that's brought his own unique sideways look at the world to a global audience. We've got listeners to this show in New York.
You know, there was some
Australia.
presents.
That's the wrong voice. Sorry, yeah.
There's some presents downstairs that got sent in.
Well,
I'm not going to give them to him.
I don't think he deserves them anymore.
No,
They're pretty
hide
cool
them.
presents as well. And I know because I got here early enough to have a look, to peruse the presents. I cycled in.
Yeah.
I've done a 9-mile cycle already. I'm raring to go.
Absolutely
I'm buzzing.
earning it. Caning it today.
No wonder Bradley Wiggins is always...
You know what? We don't need him.
No, yes! Yes, Vin.
Forget Robbins.
Hang on. The Elis James show on Radio X. This sounds pretty cool, actually.
I'm having second thoughts already.
Yeah, right, fair enough. How would I bring... how would I make changes if John were to jump ship?
I think the show would become more psychedelic.
Yes, definitely a Welshire angle.
Yes.
We'd have 4 Super Free Animals bangers per hour.
We could have our weekly Danny Gabardon special.
Oh, don't talk to me about that man. That lovely, lovely, lovely man.
Radio X. Elis James and John Robbins.
You're listening to Elis James and Vinay Joshi here on Radio X. John is on his way. He'll turn up when he turns up. That's the thing. He runs his own race. He plays his own game. I was talking about...
He's very free and easy, isn't he? That's exactly his personality type.
He's so chilled. He's so laid back, for goodness sake. We were discussing during that Nathaniel Rateliff song that if this were on another station, my experience of working on other radio stations, you would try your best to mask what has happened. You'd play more songs. You'd do fewer links.
Yeah. The word you used was professionalism.
Yes. However, the one thing we really loathe here at Radio X, apart from bad music, is dishonesty.
That's right.
I will not be fraudulent.
That's what it says. Radio X, get into the honesty.
Yes, I will not mislead our listeners. So if you're a John Robbins fan, there's a couple of them about, apparently, fear not, because he's on his way. So we're going to get hold of John, and when he eventually sees fit to turn up, we'll have lots of our usual regular features. But coming up, we've got great music from Paolo Nutini and the Vaccines.
Elis James and John Robbins. Radio X.
As I said at the start of the show, it's a show with a slight difference this Saturday. John he's messed up. He's dropped an absolute clanger. However, I think we have him on the line. John, are you there?
Hello to you.
Bluffing, cheating, corrupt, crafty, crooked, cunning, deceitful, deceiving, deceptive, designing, disreputable. These are all things I won't be. John, where are you?
I am on the Metropolitan Line train, just passing through the lovely Rickmansworth.
And knowing you, you're probably pretty chilled?
Do you know what I am, actually? I'm quite annoyed at having to come in to do this show that I'd forgotten about. I'd lit a fire. I'd got an afternoon planned. I was going to do some writing. It was a beautiful day. I was going to go for a walk. Suddenly, I've all got you three in my grill.
Such a shame that you have this loyalty to commercial digital indie radio.
I have a responsibility to the nation, and sometimes that responsibility is annoying.
Sometimes that responsibility comes at the expense of a lovely walk and sitting next to an open fire.
Yeah, oh man. I don't really feel I've let myself down because I'm in touring mode, Elis.
That's the thing. You're like Keith Richards.
I'm a walking spreadsheet right now. I'm a mileage book.
Okay.
I'm an overnight box with 3 cans of ale and a bottle of wine in it in my boot.
Yes, so obviously when your life is as hectic as Leicester one night, Fan and the Maltings on another, it's very difficult for you to work out who you are, where you are, what you bring to the table.
I drove back from Leicester last night after a lovely show, and there were lots of other comedians, so we went to the pub afterwards. It was amazing. Right. And then I gave Lou Sanders a lift back, the comedian Lou Sanders, and we just had such nice banter in the car, dropped her off at the train station, came home, just started to settle into a day off. This
is John in flux.
Yeah.
I can really sense that, do you know what, if I was an astrologer, I've just realised that I can't complete this riff because I don't know anything about astrology.
Oh, Lou was going on about all that stuff. She gets crystal readings and has a shaman.
Does she?
Yeah, I said, that's a shaman, and that was a good joke we enjoyed.
Okay. And does she...
She was telling me I need to sort out my energy and stuff, and I just said, no, I'm happy negative.
Well, what will happen to you when you sort your energy out?
Well, I'm not going to.
Well, what would happen, and why aren't you doing it?
Well,
because to be honest, John, you're an hour late for your responsibilities here on commercial digital indie radio. So
mate, I'm starting to play fast and loose with my responsibilities. I think I'm turning into a bit of a diva after demanding different wine at my Brasenose speech a month ago.
Well, I remember, I was talking to Vin about this earlier on. I remember the very first show we did on Radio X. Vin said, would you like a cup of tea? And you went, would you just make me a cup of tea? And Vin went, yeah, of course. You were like, Oh, wow, it's a bit weird, isn't it? Whereas now, you're too much of a diva to turn up for your own show. I love the way this is
I'm
you've
quite
developed.
annoyed Vin didn't send a courier to get me in on one of those.
Well, there's John. There's a cup of tea
called?
just sitting in front of an empty microphone at the moment.
It's been there for 2 years, John.
Yes, I'll be with you in a bit, mate. You'll be all right, won't you?
I'll be all right. I'm a very, very capable broadcaster because the difference between you and me is that I also have this laid-back surf dude attitude to life. But
I've got lots of anecdotes to tell as well. Lots of fun things have happened over last week.
Well, great. When you get here, we'll really enjoy ourselves. It'll be like the old days. We're like two kids in a treehouse, just getting to know each other.
Just exploring each other's bodies. It's totally natural.
Okay. Well, we'll
Kids
be talking
learn through play.
Yeah, just fade him down, Joe.
Fade him down, Joe. There'll be more from John Robbins when he finally arrives. We have imminent Robbins. He's on his way. He's within walking distance of the Radio X studios here in London's fashionable Leicester Square. We have imminent Robbins, so fear not. Stand down.
Radio X. Elis James and John Robbins.
So listening to Elis James and, believe it or not, drum roll please, Mr. John Robbins has seen fit to join us. John, how are you, man?
Hello to you, sir. Hello to you, the listener.
It's the laid-back surf dude, John Robbins. He's just got up.
I was waxing the boards all night.
Cool. Bet you were. Where have you been, John?
I've been in Leicester, Oxford, my house.
Dividing time between the cut and thrust of live comedy and your country pile.
That's true. And the thing is, when you get into your country pile, you get into a Chiltern state of mind.
Yeah, hibernation zone.
Yeah, and you want to browse the woodlands and drain the swamps, and then you forget you've got digital, commercial, indie radio responsibilities.
That's the thing. You're very rustic, aren't you?
Very rustic right now.
I love your rustic humour.
Yes.
You know, whereas I'm urban. I'm espresso. I'm shops being open until 11 p.m.
Yeah, rats, litter, disease.
Thank you, but as a consequence...
Fluoride in the water.
But as a consequence, I've got a very strong immune system.
Yes.